Hello to all of the North Node signs out there. This is Samara, and welcome to Feminist Alchemist. I'm just doing this recording one introduction for all of the signs. Just seemed easier. So, welcome. These readings are for the North Node and only the North Node. I don't focus on any other placement. One day I'll give you the whole story as to why, one day not far from now. But yeah, so if you're not sure if your North Node is in the sign that you are watching now, then do check out the link in the description box to the Feminist Alchemist website, where there is a North Node chart, and you can look up your birthday and see where the North Node was on that day. If you are not very clear on what the North Node signifies in your chart, it is not really a planet or an object. It's a mathematical point, and it signifies your soul's direction, your soul's longing for fulfillment in this lifetime, what it would like to experience. I do have a short video also linked in the description box where you can see how my guides have described the North Node to me, at least back when I first started digging into this topic. Yes, so these are general readings. Not everything is going to resonate with you. So just take what strikes a chord, and the rest you can leave to whoever else in your North Node collective needs to hear that message at this time. Feel free to like and share this video. Do also subscribe to the Feminist Alchemist channel. It helps me connect with your energy more strongly for the purpose of these readings and other readings that I do as well. What else do you need to know? So this spread that I use has been given to me by my guides, and every North Node session has a different we start off the same, but there's always one special kind of wild card, I would call it. And for this year, for this 3-month time period from the summer solstice until 3 months from the summer solstice, so from June 21st to September 21st, we are looking at what I will ask what past life information, what past lives specifically are being brought back into your conscious awareness now in order to aid your spiritual development, your ascension, your soul's expansion. So let me run down all of the different sections of this reading. They will all be time-stamped in the description box below for you to easily navigate and come back to at any point in this 3-month window if you want to review any section. So section 1 is your universal energies, so the highest vibrational energies that they're all available to you right now, but these are the ones that are showing up most prominently for you to work with for your expansion. The second set of cards I pull are for your 5D self, higher self, future self, and messages that come from that source for what energies, parts of your life you should focus on for your highest good at this time. In the 3D, or the next set of cards is the 3D reality. That's what's showing up in your physical reality as opportunities for expansion at this time. Then I pull cards asking how to bridge your 3D reality with your 5D reality. What are the strategies that you can use to help you elevate your awareness, your consciousness, and ultimately improve your life in the next 3 months. The next set of cards I pull is the wild card. Wild cards, there's always 4 of them, 4 or more. And that, as I said, this time around has to do with what is being brought up from your soul's memories in order to be integrated into your current life. This could be your past lives. It could also be past experiences in this lifetime. And then I pull your final oracles, and that is it. I will say off, just as a little disclaimer, I am using this really awesome and very direct deck for your 3D this time. It's a tarot deck that has a lot more cards. It's called, well, I'm not really doing promo of decks, so yeah. but this particular deck, every card is unique. It has like 7 death cards in it. And I have actually only used it for myself up to now. So when I use it in this reading, I will have to sometimes refer to the book to even know which cards are which. For example, there's cards in there that don't really, show up in a normal deck. But yeah, this deck, well, when I use it, it gives me some very direct answers. It's not like it's mean. It's not a mean deck, but it's definitely blunt. It's a blunt deck, but for your highest good. So with that, I will let you now enjoy your reading, and I will see you again soon. Hello, Virgo North Node. Welcome to your reading. Let's jump right into your universal energies. So I'll pull all of the cards first of this round and let you know what they are. Okay, thank you. All right. So just grab the guidebook here. I don't have them memorized. They have numbers on them. So some of them I recognize. This is Heart Mind. And then we have Self-Talk. We have Advancements. Lovely gold on that card. And I haven't seen number 37 yet. Blossoming. Beautiful. Okay, so what I'm getting here, Virgo North Node, is that in your big overarching energies that you are encouraged to work with in the next 3 months is really connecting your heart with your mind, as the Heart Mind card says. No, but it's about connecting your truest desires with how you think, and is how you think in alignment with your truest heart's desires, hopes, dreams, and how you feel about the world as well. In self-talk, I feel like this is getting control of what beliefs, what ideas, what visions you have in your mind, like perpetually. Some of your habitual thoughts, your habitual thought patterns you have the opportunity to change those now, to observe them and change them. And this will bring you great advancements in terms of your manifestations, aligning with your highest timeline, aligning with your abundance and better relationships, better health, just all around improvement of your life, as blossoming also indicates. That when you align your heart with your thoughts, you'll be able to become more of yourself, and maybe a version of yourself that you haven't even imagined yet. I keep hearing the word imagination when I look at the Heart Mind card. It's also harnessing the power of your imagination for your benefit. I'm getting that some of you use your imagination to concoct scenarios that are like that you don't need to concoct, reconstructing the past, for example, or calling back in people that you don't need to call back in, like to prove your worth, or to, like, going to a high school reunion to show people who treated you badly how well you turned out. They're like, you know, that could benefit you, but do you really want to use all of this incredible manifestation energy for that? It will be, you know, it may not be as fulfilling as you think. So I'm starting with your 5D cards already. The energy is just flowing very nicely today. So you have duality, root chakra. These are messages from your 5D, higher self, future self, expression, balance and friendship. They want another one at the bottom there, so I will grab that. That way? No, this way. Okay. So we have duality, root chakra, expression, balance, friendship, commitment, and healing. Duality, I am getting this also, this thing in with your imagination. I feel that you may be imagining a version of yourself that is not in alignment with who you really are. It's probably in alignment with what you think other people want to see, what you think would make other people jealous, right? It has something to do with satisfying an external opinion. And this external opinion may have been planted there and is in your inner critic. It's in your self-talk. But they also want you to understand that it's not bad for you to imagine yourself being someone different, something different, but it needs to be aligned, once again, with your heart. With your heart. With the root chakra, I feel that there's a need for you to focus on what makes you feel secure. You may need to start a mantra about feeling secure. In your sense of self, in your sense of safety. Some of you, if you are in a situation, a living situation, life situation where you don't feel secure, they want you to have a mantra nonetheless about feeling secure, because that will help manifest it, right? Feeling secure in your belief system, feeling secure in your support from your guides, translates into security, like actual physical security, money, house, property, material possessions, physical safety, food, right? That belief, because it can't help but multiply. It can't help but multiply. I'm going to read this card. The frequency of expression supports our ability to bring out our true essence through many different forms of communication. This, I feel, is an extension of the root chakra. The root chakra came to me first as an expression of grounding your safety, stability, security in the physical plane. But this is feeling like a need to ground your personality self into a cohesive expression of yourself. And I feel that because this is coming by the blossoming, if you have streamlined your personality to fit certain situations, people, places, or things, and you find yourself being the person that you need to be in certain situations, then this is the time to integrate that and expand on that. There's nothing wrong with being a personality that adapts to the situation at hand, but it becomes a problem when then it's like you can't mix those two worlds because you're so different in one to the other. It fragments yourself as well in your mind, and it fragments this connection between your heart and mind. When we come to balance, balance is about allowing all of the aspects of yourself to coexist in a harmonious way. And I see that this is between, you have balance, number 12, commitment on this side, number 13, and friendship in the middle. I feel that your relationships will also be much more fulfilling when you have balance in your life. Not in your life, within yourself. This balance is within yourself, within your ideas of yourself. You also have to get used to the fact that certain aspects of yourself can definitely coexist. I do have a feeling that they may have shown me that high school reunion scenario. That is in Canada, I don't think we do high school reunions. I've never had one. So there may be something that's in the US though. But just that feeling of wanting to prove somebody wrong or to show somebody up. But I am getting a definite feeling of someone who was like bullied in high school. Someone whose personality and character, you may have just been different. You may have been a little socially awkward. You may have looked different, right? Whatever the reason was. But there's this split within yourself for a good portion of you. There is a split where there's parts of yourself unacknowledged, unembraced, and this then does not draw to you more people who are just, accepting and those who admire who you are, because you're not committed to being that version or to being all of yourself. And I think that there's a feeling here of you needing to be friends with yourself as well. There is something here about you being friends with yourself as well. You're being advised to commit to loving yourself very unconditionally, fully at all times, as a practice in healing yourself. To restore yourself to balance, to restore your body to balance, to bring balance to your mind and your thoughts as well. You need to, I don't like saying you need to, you are being advised to. But you need to has less words. So you're being advised to heal your thought process, how you think about yourself, really be aware of your self-talk. Yeah, be aware of your self-talk, be aware of what you think you are capable of, and like and love yourself regardless of what you're capable of, just because you are who you are. We're on to your 3D now. I'm just going to pull, which one comes first? Or they come together. So we have let me see if this is reversed. No, it's upright. 9 of Cups and the Knight of Rings. Judgment in reverse. We have this interesting duck. This fell out. Okay, the duck and the dark sun in reverse. I told you this deck was interesting. If you did actually listen to the intro. And then we have the 10 of Eyes, and it's in reverse. Okay, I had to do a little digging to find that duck card, but all right, so let's start. With the Knight of Rings and the Nine of Cups together, I feel like you will be pursuing. You're either in the midst of pursuing a change in your material world, job, appearance, home. You're either in the midst of it or you're thinking about it. For some of you, I feel that you don't necessarily feel, there's part of you that's working against you in that you don't necessarily feel that this change is possible. You may think that, you may feel that you are over dreaming. You may also have people telling you that you're over dreaming. What you do need to look out for, though, is how they're saying your mini manifestation. So what are you effectively able to manifest on a smaller scale before the big thing? This is just to then give you some faith in the fact that you can manifest something. And I do feel that you will have in the next 3 months some manifestations actually show up for you. It's a slow and steady wins the race type of situation, though, with your bigger manifestations. There is a feeling of doubt, though. The Judgment card in reverse. There will be some definite moments that stand between you and your healing in the next 3 months. Some definite moments that stand between you and positive thoughts of yourself. This could be people resurfacing, this can be memories resurfacing, but ultimately there is, do expect for your negative thought patterns to be, what's the word I'm looking for? To be justified. For you to see some evidence, to be able to justify them, for them to manifest in the real world. Why? Because you're thinking them, right? And so those situations will come to you. They are coming to you as evidence so that you can change. We will look at that in the next round of cards. But if you have negative thought patterns, don't be surprised when they show up in your life. That is the point, right? If you have negative thought patterns, don't be surprised that they show up in your life. Do, though, understand that this is also the universe trying to show you that what you think turns into things, right? That you are manifesting things. So this ducky here is the Fool. And the dark sun is, well, punishing yourself for past mistakes. So I do feel that these two, it's such an oxymoron together. But I feel you'll have opportunities for moving forward, especially in your relationships, possibly with people who actually like you just the way you are, and you may have an issue with maybe challenge to actually believe that. I also feel that some of you may have opportunities, like collaborative opportunities, work-wise opportunities, that you also may not believe you're worthy of, or that you may feel they're too good to be true. I feel a lot of challenges to your personality here. What does this person want from me? How does this person want to see me? Who do I need to be to impress this person? And this may drive you a little nutso. I don't like to use that term, but it may cause you anxiety. Let's put it that way. It may cause you anxiety. But they also want you to understand that even if you feel that you didn't show up the best in your past relations, past friendships, that sometimes, those friendships were not meant to last. You're not a bad person necessarily. It just is what it is, and you need to let it go. But we'll see what advice comes up as well. And when I say let it go, it doesn't mean forget about it, because things that you don't look at, this is what the Ten of Eyes is saying here, things that you don't look at, they're just going to persist. Like you don't see, if you turn your face away from hurt or from a hurtful situation, you may be only drowning in your own hurt and not see how it's affected other people. And it becomes stagnant energy that holds you back or shows up in your life in other ways. The subconscious we may be unaware of it, but the universe isn't unaware of it. And energetically, everyone around us subconsciously is also aware of it. Like on some level, they are also aware of it. So anything that you will see in the next 3 months that anything that you have not dealt with will, if you're looking, you will see that it shows up in other places. And I feel that in the next 3 months, it will be showing up for you in other places so that you can express it in a healthier way. Let's see how the 3D and the 5D can be bridged. Lightning, power. Ooh, you're the first sign to get that card. And you're the 11th reading I'm doing for the North Node, so that's saying a lot. Virgo North Node, what do they need to know? Meadow, vulnerability. Okay. That's a duality right there. Tsunami, wake-up call. What else for Virgo North Node, please? What else for Virgo North Node, please? Autumnal equinox release and summer solstice radiance, which is lovely since we are, the summer solstice portal is still open at the time that I'm doing this reading. And at the bottom, you have Cave Sanctuary. All right, so let's start with power. It's time for you to recognize your own power, your power of creation, your power to harness your mind, your emotion, your power over your own vibration, and your power to accept yourself fully and therefore essentially demand that other people do the same. Because I feel that what they're guiding you to correct at this point is your ability to align with what you want. I shouldn't say correct, improve. We are strengthening the skill of you aligning to your true desires. The number one thing that you have to be is aware of your true desires, because right now it seems that the energy is of you aligning with a lot of things that you don't necessarily want, because there's an insecurity in really honoring and embracing all aspects of yourself. So meta vulnerability is also saying, like, if you were a sensitive person and you work in a harsh environment, they're showing me someone who's like very intuitive, working in a place like in a trading office, like on the trading floor and stocks, and a place that's very fast paced, very masculine oriented, very risk oriented, and if you have been in environments that do not embrace you, and you have been hurt in those environments. So they're showing me a lot of work environments. If you're the only woman in your field, if you work as a tradesperson and you're the only woman, and there's a lot of sexism, or they, have a lot of posters of half-naked women around the workshop, and it insults your divine femininity, whatever the case may be. If you have a difference of gender identity and the people that you work with are not tolerant and embracing of who you are, it's okay to say that, I'm not always tough, right? That I've been hurt. The bullying comes up again. I've been bullied. I've had my sense of self assaulted. I've had my sense of self chipped away at. There's a lot of growth in acknowledging the hurts that you have experienced this is in interpersonal relationships across the board. Even though we're talking about career and possibly your neighborhood that you live in and school, this is about the relationships that take place within those constellations, within those environments, and how you function in them, or what coping mechanisms you have built up to overcome those situations or to live through those situations, because this wake-up call is all of that ish coming to the surface. Why? Because you're going to be faced with somebody or something that truly likes you, like you being you, and everything and all of that doubt, all of that fear, all of that hurt, all of that fragmentation will come to the surface. And you're simply being asked to let it come to the surface. You may have to be careful of allowing it to overrun you, and or putting all of that emotion, all of that suspicion as well onto any of these new relationships that come to kind of trigger that release. Release and radiance. I can't think of two better cards to go together. It's time to let go of the negativity. It's time to also recognize the mirror that has been created by whatever has fragmented your sense of self. And just to let it all, so they're showing me all the different petals. I mean, this is a sun, but it also looks like a sunflower to me. But all of the different rays here, it's all different aspects of yourself, right? Yourself in the middle, and all of the ways that it expresses itself. in the world. This is also about, right, that all-encompassing healing that you commit to giving to yourself by just admiring yourself fully. You may need to go back and, get some pictures of yourself from especially like that certain time where you feel that you were most traumatized, if you will. Your sense of self was most damaged. And, talk to the picture, or write a letter that says it wasn't your fault. There's nothing wrong with you. You're actually very strong for having gotten through that situation. I think you're this, I think you're strong and you're capable. I think you have a great imagination. I think you're unique, and I love you fully and completely. And just, it's like a release and an integration at the same time. Releasing the negativity, but integrating the experience as characterizing yourself differently within that experience. Let's see what past life and past experiences in this lifetime are coming to the surface to be integrated at this time. Okay, let's go with this one first. We have the Swan. I have to tidy up here a bit. Okay. Past lives, which is what we're talking about. Interesting. The Pathfinder. I do love this deck. I don't use it often enough. Okay. Ace of Lotuses, Six of Birds, and the Pelican. All together. That was an interesting life. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Birds. Okay, the Swan, which in the traditional tarot would be the High Priestess, and they're showing me this mirroring. This is a lifetime where you were really beautiful. And I do feel that this is a lifetime. Oh no, they're not saying that you were female. You could have been male. You could have been a beautiful male as well. But really, really beautiful. And not just outside, but inside. And the inner beauty is actually, like, you were born physically beautiful, yes, but the inner beauty just made it like over the top, magical. Like you walked into a room and your grace and your presence was everything to everybody. You enjoyed a very high stature in life. And I feel in this life there wasn't, like, if, as far as past lives go, and as far as a life can go, this was a very enjoyable, very not dramatic. I wouldn't say, I don't feel it was particularly long. I would say that. Like, I feel that it was a time where you may have lived till your late 20s, early 30s at the most. But also your passing wasn't violent and wasn't necessarily traumatic either. Interesting. Anyway, they don't want me to get into that part too much. But it's the point of the life was so serene, so full of beauty, so full of music, arts. So you may have been someone who lived in a castle, away from the harshness of life. But you were also very kind, and there was nothing that made you inspired to be unkind, which is interesting. So, like, I'm so used to feeling oh, the strife, and this is the healing that you have to bring to that life. This is like, no. This is purely the gift of a time when your heart and your mind were so beautifully aligned, and there was a lot of love around you. You were basking in love from all types of sources, physical and non-physical beings, and nothing wavered you from that. And this is coming to you in this lifetime to give you that little oomph so that, to make you feel and understand that this is possible. This is a way you can live. Like in our modern world, there's not as many people who live non-dramatic lives, but you could also choose to not be wavered from the beauty and the love, and you can choose to place your focus on that. And I think your focus is the most important aspect of that one, because when we come here to past lives, this is card 13. So in the traditional tarot, it would be the Tower, not the Tower, the Death card. And I'm getting from this one, the funny thing is, it says past lives, and I don't actually feel that it is a past life. I feel that it's old versions of yourself in this lifetime. Because I feel for a lot of you, there's been several versions of yourself, and you haven't quite found the perfect version just yet. But instead of making it out of all of the positive aspects of yourself or positive things that you found out, you're building it. I feel a sense of self that has been built off of negativity, because look, all of these little people are looking at this same spark in the middle, right? And they're all holding hands as well, waiting to come through the spark. And I feel that you're identifying more with the people that you've created than your inner spark, with the personalities that you've created for yourself than your inner spark. And that is what is coming up for you to integrate, to understand that even all of these versions of yourself that I'm talking about here are this same inner spark. It's just, this is what you need to find, what you need to tap into, what you need to be permanently connected to is your inner radiance. Then the personality cells that you create to fit situations or to get along, with people, or to create the life you want to create, is authentic because it's created from something that is you, not what you think you are or what you think you should be. The Pathfinder, dowsing, when you can find, like when you could use a pendulum or a stick to find water, is that what's called dowsing? I'm not 100% on that. But you were able to find things using your psychic abilities. So you help people find your intuitive abilities. You help people find lost objects. You help people find water. You help people find gold even, I feel. Minerals or things that were needed by the community. And I feel that this past life is coming to be integrated. If this is a past experience and not a past life, then it's a time when you found your way through something very difficult. And you haven't acknowledged to yourself how well you have navigated up to now. So that's actually showing me it's like a 50-50. Some of you, this is just like, well, for all of you, have you really acknowledged everything that you have done to get to even where you are now? Do you really appreciate everything? Because this figure is gold. This advancement card is gold. Have you really sat down and really looked at your life and acknowledged how far you've come. And in the past life energy, this has the same ultimate benefit, whether you're, so I feel for all of you, it's important to look at how far you've come. Okay, and this one, Ace of Lotuses, Six of Birds, and the Pelican. Oh my goodness. This was a big life. This was a big life where there was sacrifice. And hard decisions. It's almost like this life, but in contrast. It's almost, I'm trying to get the words through my mouth. This life did not exist in a vacuum, right? There was the reason why this swan was so safe and so able to just be immersed in love, because there are other people around her. This is a masculine energy. There are other people around who dealt with the nitty-gritty parts, the not so pretty parts of life, made the difficult decisions, decided who was going to get beheaded and things like this, right? Unfortunately. This, though, was a benevolent leader. But this was the balance between needing to do things that make tough decisions, things that were kind of unpleasant, but doing it from a heart-led and intuitive-led place. You may have been a leader who was divinely guided, who took divine guidance, so who relied on divine guidance. And this divine guidance led to a very prosperous community or nation. So why is this coming up for Virgo North Node today? I feel this is coming up for you because in relation to balance and blossoming and vulnerability, like, it's not an easy feat to be what's the word I'm looking for? I don't want to say feared. Like, to be a leader who is also loved and loving, but can make difficult decisions that sometimes, has to put some people in the, it's decisions affecting many people with many different stakes, many different interests in your decision and the outcome. The point of this is that this was a life lived in a lot of balance between intellect and the heart, a lot of balance and a lot of benevolence. And this is coming out for you to understand that all of the parts of you can work together to be in a balanced whole. And if there were any parts of you that you were stuffing down because you thought that it would not lead to your success, that needs to end. Right? They want to show you that all of the parts lead to your success. It's about you finding out how they balance and work in harmony with each other. Let me pull your final oracles before I get into this person or this lifetime. Good one. I like it. Well, all of them are good, but, but this one in particular is like, wow, I have not felt that one from anyone, any sign yet. Your first oracle is Owl Medicine. And I'm going to pull from another deck. Virgo, by the time I get to your North Node reading, the energy is always so different. And it's great because I get to see cards that I haven't seen ever, or at least not in the last readings. So, was this in reverse? Yeah. Goblins in reverse. So I'm just going to read from the guidebook for these two cards. Owl Medicine. Okay, the card meaning: wisdom, illumination, intuition, clairvoyance, and deep insight abound. Go within. Profound majesty and grace is available to you simply by pulling your awareness inward. Ancient knowledge is emerging within you. You know the truth. Trust your perception. You are a truth seeker and a truth sharer. Nurture the feminine spirit within you. Your native spirit wants you to know. In some indigenous cultures, the men say that they're afraid of the owl because it represents the power of woman, and they're in awe of and even afraid of the power of women. Other native cultures call the owl the night eagle, for it has the majesty of the eagle, but works silently in the darkness of night. In Western cultures, the owl sits on the shoulder of Athena and also of Merlin, revealing sacred truths. When this card chooses you, you are at the advent of a time of illumination and transformation. I feel that there is great balance between divine feminine and divine masculine coming out. If any of your social, I'll call them social traumas, for lack of a better term, if any of those things have to do with femininity or masculinity and those traits within you, those have the opportunity now to come into balance in the next 3 months. And let's look at goblins in reverse. Oh, this is the wrong book. Hold on. Goblins. Number 5. Fear is an illusion. Choose love today. Forgive yourself and others. In the reverse position, it means it's often difficult to deal with someone else's issues because they impact your own. No one is perfect, but in this case, you're particularly vulnerable to being manipulated. Don't take this world personally. When the Goblins card arrives reversed, it's a sign to step back with detachment. Don't let other people's stuff lead you into reacting from an old wound. Love yourself unconditionally. Set boundaries, and your goblins will fall asleep. Love is the only answer. I don't think I have to say more about that. I'll only point out that it came next to your healing and this judgment card where we said people come in to show you evidence of your negative thinking or their negative thinking, right? So I'm going to, love is the answer. That's what we said. All right, Virgo North Node, I hope that you found something in this reading to nourish your mind, body, and spirit. And I will see you again soon. Until then, take care, be well, and stay blessed. Bye for now.